Hello, everybody, and welcome to LaChamba.com. I am Neil Rodriguez. I was reading an article on the New York Times website, nytimes.com, where a Harvard professor, an economics Harvard professor by the name of Edward Glaeser, writes that the unemployment rate in New York City was at 6.9% in the month of January, while the rest of the country had an unemployment rate of 7.6%. Glaeser theorizes that due to the fact that the economic crisis started on Wall Street, a lot of that federal bailout money was directed towards New York City. And that's buoyed the economy and it's helped the employment rate stay higher than the rest of the country. He also finds that the construction of new homes in New York City only declined by 10%, whereas in 2006, 2 million homes were being built nationwide. Now that number is down to 531,000 homes that are being built on a yearly basis. I'd like to add to that crime. Crime has been dramatically dropping for decades in New York City. When I came up, if you got on a train after 6 p.m., you're almost bound to get robbed 9 out of 10 times. Maybe 11 out of 10 times if you could do the math. 11 out of 10 times you were getting robbed if you were on the train after 6 p.m., after 7 p.m. You hit Wall Street, it was lined with prostitutes. You saw the pimps rolling up with pink Cadillacs, red suits, and red fedoras with the feather. A lot of porn shops all over the place, peep shows everywhere you went. Guys coming up to you with a bunch of gold toothbrushes and gold hair dryers and gold chain, just like Coming to America. True story. You definitely should see it. I remember we were one time in my uncle's car, and this guy just came to me with like about 3 chains. He laid them over his hand, and we didn't want anything to do with that, but we just kept on rolling. You keep it moving. That went down for a long time. You saw a number of people that were homeless, that they used to rub their hands in front of fires over empty oil drum garbage cans. You see this stuff. It was authentic. It was a lot of crime was existing in this city. So this environment allowed for a lot of people to make money without having to go to school. They can go on a corner and start slinging crack, make $1,000, $2,000 a night. Now the police presence is so immense, it's so prevalent in New York City that you cannot do that anymore. It's hot. It's hot out there. If you go out there and you start to sling crack on a corner nowadays, you will get caught quickly. You will get caught quickly. It's not like back in the days. There's not even a market for it like there was back then. I grew up with kids who used to experiment doing crack. You don't see kids doing that anymore. Now you see kids looking to get an education because they don't find that income generating opportunity on these corners, so they have to find different ways to make money. They have to hit vocational school, hit the colleges. They got to take their SATs, get their Regents diplomas now. So they have to get an education. Edward Glaeser, he also wrote in that article that I believe the unemployment rate for high school dropouts was at 15%. So most people that have dropped out of high school with limited education, those are the ones that are suffering. Those are the ones that are mostly unemployed. So in New York, you don't have the option to not go to school. You got to go to school if you want to make money because it's hot out there in order for you to start to run schemes, if you want to do insurance scams, whatever it is you're going to do, it's not happening in New York City anymore. You see a cop on every corner. They got like 4,000 cameras in Central Park. I saw a video a few years back where this one lady was about to get robbed, and as soon as the mugger was about to approach her at about 4 feet, 6 cops came and tackled them. And before Central Park used to be a haven for rapists and people that used to mug other people, there was a big case where this one lady got raped and she got murdered, and these kids just got released like a few years back, and this happened like back in the 80s or something to that effect. So it's a lot safer. You know, Times Square is not like it used to be, not how I described it before. Now it's Disneyland. You are more open to go over there and spend money with your kids. All right, to take those party bikes and to ride around the city. All right, or spend money on the musicians on the street, spend money in Toys R Us, wherever it is you're going to go. You are more open to do it. You're more confident to do it because you're not going to get robbed. In New York City, people used to get robbed for starter jackets. I think it was like a $100 jacket that was made out of like some type of nylon material, and it was stuffed with cheap cotton. Not even cotton. I don't even know what was stuffed in there. And people used to get killed for that stuff. People used to get killed for sneakers. It's not happening like that anymore. It's not that portrayal of New York City that you saw on the cover of Time magazine in 1990 that featured as one of the most dangerous cities in the country, if not on the planet. It's now more like the 2000 version after post Giuliani, where you saw New York City featured like Epcot Center on Time magazine. So I think that has a lot to do with it. They've been able to contain crime. Another article in the New York Times written by Al Baker, stated that according to a New York University law professor, crime has been down 14% over the last year, and crime has declined 30% over the last 7 years. So the containment of crime definitely has to do with it. I do believe that is a fact. It's definitely been contained more than in other cities. A lot safer in a lot of cities. I've gone to Los Angeles, and I haven't seen such a police presence. Well, this was about 5 years ago, so I can't speak now. But I know that when I went to Los Angeles about 5 years ago, there wasn't such a widespread police presence as there is in New York City. You could see that the crime could happen. And, I mean, I hear it happen. I heard it happen. I used to hear where kids used to just call on police, call an emergency in just to get police into a neighborhood like the Jungle and just start spraying them up from the rooftops. I know cities like Miami, they're a lot more dangerous than New York at this point in time because it's still easy for you to get money illegally, to get it on the street. I thank you for watching. We'll possibly delve into this a bit further, probably substantiate the fact that it may be that a containment of crime may help bolster the economy once again. So I thank you for watching. If you have any responses to this effect, leave them in your comments or hit me. Twitter.com/NotifyNeil. My name is Neil Rodriguez. You have a good night. Until next time.